Hi everybody, and welcome to the Ric Wesley Show. I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head men's basketball coach Ric Wesley. Rick, thanks for joining me this week.
Nice to be here.
We got back from the UP. It was an up and down week for you. You got a win, got a loss. Let's talk about the Thursday game first. You defeated Northern Michigan 64-56. It was a 30-29 score at halftime, and then your team went on a 17-1 run midway through the second half, kind of opened it up. Final score I don't think was as indicative as how well you played in the second half. Your team shot 50% from the field, very efficient shooting there. Ricardo Carbajal with 15 points to lead the way. Tyrone Lee added 10 points. Your post players, not to mention those guys, but including Austin Summerfield and Darren Washington, seemed to play very well on Thursday night.
Yeah, overall it was a very good team effort for us. A lot of guys contributed, a lot of guys played well. I thought our defense was solid. We did a good job on Matthew Craigs. Their fine forward really limited his opportunities. I just thought we swarmed the ball well. We kept good pressure on the ball. We had a number of steals. Breland Hogan really set the tone for our defense with 6 steals. And it resulted in pretty good offensive opportunities for us. We probably had more transition opportunities than we've had in a while. You mentioned I thought our big guys really worked well together. Ricky Carbajal came back, had a really nice game after having battled an bad ankle all week. So his ability just to play at all was a little bit in doubt, and the fact that he not only played but played well was really impressive. And then Tyrone, I think Tyrone's really starting to come back into his own. He had battled some ankle issues too, and I think he's getting better and better every day, and it certainly showed in this game. Ryan Marley hit some big shots for us. Tony Peters hit a big shot down the stretch, and I thought Darren Kaputska came in there and gave us a good lift. Played some good defense, made a couple really nice passes, and it really kind of sparked our team.
After the win Thursday night, you headed up to Houghton to take on the Huskies on Saturday, and you had beat them 3 times in a row, twice in a row on their home floor, but they came out and played well in the first half. They hit 6 threes. They had a big lead at halftime. You were able to shrink it to 11 points down the stretch, but ultimately they came away with a 69-51 win, and your biggest loss of the season, a tough game to play against a team that was picked to win the GLIAC this season.
Yeah, it was a tough night for us. We've had success there the last couple of years, but we just didn't have the physicality necessary to go in there and battle at Michigan Tech, and particularly battle against their big frontline guy, Ali Haydar. We got in foul trouble. Some of that was our own undoing. Ricky and Ty both had a silly foul in the first half that really limited their minutes. Our shooters couldn't find the range. I think we were 1 for 9 in the first half from 3. And, the combination of inefficient offense and, inability to stop them defensively, it was just too much. I mean, they played well. Their fine shooting guard, Stelzer, really was on fire. And the next thing you know, we're down by a huge margin. To our guys' credit, I thought we came back and we made it interesting. We sort of... we got some free throws in the second half. We had no free throw opportunities in the first half, which allowed us to set our full court defense, kind of helped us disrupt their offense a little bit. And, we kind of got back in the game a little bit. Like I said, we were down 11, 4 minutes and a half to go. Play good defense. They have to shoot with the shot clock winding down. And unfortunately, we don't get the rebound. Had to get that rebound, then perhaps we could have got it under 10 around the 4-minute mark, and made it even more interesting. So disappointed overall that we couldn't have a better effort. Happy that we came back and battled. We made it a little bit closer, I think, than the final score. They're sprinting for a layup up 16 or whatever as the buzzer sounds. To make it even a worse score than it should have been. But, if we continue to take care of business, we can find a way to play well here down the stretch. Hopefully we'll get a chance to play them again in the conference tournament.
Well, one thing you said on the radio show the other night was that you left in second place You left for the trip in second place. You came back in second place, so you didn't lose much ground. Wayne State's dropped a couple games recently, and the good news is you play 3 of your final 5 games in the regular season at home. So that's got to be encouraging. You get to play in your home gym again, and even the road trips you have are close ones. A couple hours at Saginaw and Northwood. So talk about this final stretch coming up.
Well, we've just gone through just a really difficult stretch of games here, and it loomed on the schedule. You knew as we headed into it, it wasn't going to be easy. We didn't do as well as we had hoped, but when all the dust settles from that, we're still kind of where we were when we went into it. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the league has really been able to just pull away. And in fact, you mentioned Wayne State's had a couple tough losses here lately, so they've kind of come back to the pack. If anything, the league has kind of just moved, together. Mm-hmm. We've all moved into just a big block of teams there at the top that anybody could emerge from to win the league and to position themselves in the conference tournament. So bad news is we didn't do as well as we wanted. The good news is we're kind of right back to where we were, and now we're coming down the stretch. Like you said, 5 games. None of them are easy, right. But it's kind of the same story for everybody in the conference.
Looking ahead to this weekend, you take on Lake Superior State this Thursday in your home gym at 6 p.m. You defeated them earlier in the season on the road, 71-62, a good win there. And then on Saturday, you go to Northwood for a 4 p.m. start. You defeated Northwood here at home, 59-49 in mid-January. So 2 tough games, 1 home, 1 on the road. Talk about the week that lies ahead for you.
Well, really a tough week. Both these teams are really battling. They're in hunt for the conference tournament. They're right there. These are super important games for them as well. Both of them are quality teams, veteran teams. Lake State's got 2 of the top scorers in the conference, and Derek Kinney, who's a senior, and Derek Billings, who's a junior. Those guys have been around for a while. Alex Williams is an outstanding three-point shooter. Cameron Metz is really a tough, hard-nosed, aggressive inside player. So they've got a very solid team. We were fortunate to win up at their place. Chris Zadex had a big game. Right. In the second half, we were able to finally get a little bit of a lead, but it was a back and forth game the entire night. They're the kind of team that comes in here and typically plays pretty well. They've got a lot of kids with ties to this area, so I'm sure they'll be extra excited, extra enthused. And then we follow that up with having to go to Northwood, which was a team last year that just absolutely embarrassed us over there at their place. And again, another veteran team. Right. I mean, they've got basically their whole team back this year, minus Bobby Lewis, who was an outstanding player for them last year. But they're a good team. Might very well be the hottest team in the conference. I think they've won 4 in a row. So, man, every game is tough. We just got to get out there and just get after it and try to play the very hardest we can and see if we can't find a way to get some W's here.
Grand Valley State 15-6 on the year, 12-5 in GLIAC play, and they return home to the Fieldhouse Arena this Thursday night at 6 p.m. against Lake Superior State. So come on out as one of the 3 remaining home games in the regular season for Ric Wesley and his team. Coach, best of luck this week. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll talk to you again next week.
It'll be great to be at home Valentine's Day. Hopefully we'll get a big crowd and just enjoy being back in Allendale.
There you go. Thanks for watching the Ric Wesley Show here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.